Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're really diving into something fascinating. It's how design, ecology, and culture all kind of weave together.
Yeah, to shape a future that's more sustainable, definitely, but also more connected, more focused on well-being.
And we're using a specific place as our lens, right? This unique spot in Miami called Ironside.
Exactly. And what's really interesting about this deep dive, I think, is the angle we're taking on sustainability.
Yeah.
It's maybe less conventional.
Okay.
We're exploring this core idea, this concept of memory as material.
Memory as material. Okay, unpack that a bit. Not like remembering my keys.
No, not cognitive memory, exactly. Think of it more as an invisible but still really tangible building block, something you can actually, build with, something you inhabit.
Okay, that's a crucial distinction. And that really sets up our mission for today's deep dive, doesn't it? We're trying to understand how we can consciously design, or maybe architect, spaces for richer emotional lives.
That's the term we're using, emotional architecture.
Right, exploring how things like public art, storytelling, cultural history, how they're deliberately used
Woven into the fabric of a place.
to support what you called social longevity, connecting people across time, across different places. So what does that actually look like? How does it work on the ground?
Well, when we usually talk about sustainable materials in building,
Yeah.
our minds jump to the physical stuff, right? PFAS-free surfaces, reclaimed wood.
Solar panels, low impact design, that kind of thing.
Exactly. And those are obviously incredibly important, vital for ecological health.
Now, there's another layer here.
That's what Miami Ironside seemed to really get at, and it's the heart of this emotional architecture idea. It's the belief that there's this other crucial material, maybe less visible, but just as sustaining, and that's memory.
Okay. So the stories, the art, the shared history, these aren't just nice to haves.
Not at all. The idea is they actively support how long and how well a community thrives. They forge these deep connections that can span generations, even different locations.
So it's shifting how we see these places, not just functional boxes or places to buy things.
Precisely. It invites us to see them more as, say, canvases, spaces that hold stories, that invite you to reflect, not just consume.
Turning static buildings into living narratives.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Narratives that resonate on a much deeper human level.
Okay, but this idea of memory as material, it still feels a bit abstract. How does Ironside make it concrete? You mentioned surprises.
Right. Well, imagine this. You're walking around the Ironside campus, turn a quiet corner, and suddenly you're face to face with an actual original piece of the Berlin Wall.
Whoa, seriously, just there, not in a museum.
Not a museum, integrated right into the daily rhythm of the place.
That sounds wild. Why that specific piece of history? And why there, of all places?
It's a really powerful choice, isn't it? And I think it reveals something important. When you take historical artifacts like that out of the glass case and put them into the flow of everyday life, the space itself starts to change. That static memory becomes dynamic. It becomes a living story that people interact with.
So it's actively shaping how people feel about the place, their collective identity, maybe.
Exactly. It's more than just a monument
Mm.
because it's right there, accessible. It becomes this constant, quiet reminder. Division, yes, but also healing,
Yeah.
transformation, continuity.
Making history an active ingredient in the present. I like that. And does that philosophy carry over into other parts of Ironside? Like you mentioned art.
It absolutely does.
Yeah.
Just a few steps away from that piece of the wall, you find these art galleries, OPA projects and Carousel fine art.
Okay.
And they're not just, white cube galleries showing art. They seem to be actively rethinking what a gallery can even be.
How so?
Well, take OPA projects. It was founded by an art historian, Billy Tartour. And they curate shows that specifically dig into themes of memory, materiality, identity,
Yeah.
themes we're talking about.
All right.
The space itself is designed to encourage both public conversation and private reflection. It's like art becoming a tool for what they call civic imagination.
Civic imagination. That's interesting. What does that mean in this context? Helping people imagine their shared future.
Yeah, essentially helping the community collectively envision and maybe even shape where it's going through art and creative expression. And then right nearby, you have Carousel Fine Art. They're doing really bold stuff, installations, multimedia, experimental work that really challenges you.
Okay, so different approaches, but a similar energy.
I think so. And what's really fascinating is that both galleries are housed in repurposed industrial buildings.
Ah, so the reuse theme continues.
Exactly. It's a literal merging of cultural dialogue with architectural reuse.
Mm.
It perfectly shows that art isn't just a static endpoint.
Mm.
It's an ongoing conversation happening within the repurposed bones of the building itself.
An ongoing conversation. I like that. And that fluid, evolving feeling, does that show up elsewhere? You mentioned a mural hallway.
Yes, the Mural Hallway. It's this corridor, and it's lined with artworks from both emerging artists and more established names.
So lots of visual interest.
More than just decoration, though. It's conceived as a kind of memory map.
A memory map. Okay, what does that imply? Not like a literal map.
No, more abstract, symbolic. And crucially, it's designed to evolve. The works change, the light changes.
So the hallway itself feels alive. It shifts with time, with the light, mirroring how memory itself isn't fixed, right? It's fluid.
That's exactly the idea.
Yeah.
And that ability to adapt, to evolve, that points to something vital for real longevity, doesn't it? Whether it's a memory or a building. Adaptability.
How does Ironside design for that adaptability beyond just changing the murals? Is it built into the philosophy?
I think it is. The way the art transforms reflects this understanding that history, community, memory, they're all dynamic, not static.
Hmm?
And ultimately, this whole approach, this emotional architecture,
Mm.
it has really profound implications for us, for our personal well-being.
Okay, bring it back to the individual. Why does this matter to me, to you, to the listener?
Because environments designed like this, the ones that spark memory, that resonate emotionally, they don't just evoke feelings. The claim is they can actually contribute to healing.
Right, this is where the rubber meets the road. How these design choices actually affect our daily lives.
And Ironside points to research suggesting that spaces deeply rooted in story and art, they can genuinely reduce stress.
Really?
Yeah, and increase our sense of belonging, strengthen those community connections we talked about. It's an impact that goes way beyond just looking nice.
That's significant. And you mentioned Ironside takes a holistic view. It's not just about the art and memory.
Absolutely. That's key. They pair this emotional integrity, this focus on memory and feeling, with a serious commitment to material integrity, too.
Meaning
Meticulous attention to the physical stuff as well. Those PFAS-free surfaces we mentioned, circular systems in the buildings, even extending to things like the catering, ensuring materials and consumables align with a kind of holistic wellness philosophy.
seed oil-free catering was mentioned, I think.
Things like that, yes. It underscores this core belief. Health isn't purely internal. It's fundamentally spatial. Our surroundings directly shape our well-being.
Okay, so weaving all these threads together now, the history, the art, the materials, the focus on well-being, we start to see what they call the poetry of circularity emerge at Ironside.
Yes. It's a beautiful way to put it. Just like physical materials, wood getting upcycled, buildings getting retrofitted.
Painting itself is being recirculated, is that the idea?
That's exactly it. It's regeneration.
Yeah.
The Berlin Wall isn't just stuck in the past. Its meaning is renewed by being part of daily life now.
Okay.
The art galleries aren't just displaying objects. They're fostering ongoing dialogue, creating new stories,
And the murals are constantly changing.
constantly evolving, drawing new connections. It is circularity, but in this really poetic sense. It's the reuse of stories, the regeneration of memory. And that, fundamentally, is the architecture of longevity.
That really lands the core message for this deep dive, I think. What we build, what we create around us. It should hold more than just function. It needs to hold feeling.
It needs to resonate.
So maybe a final thought for everyone listening. Take a moment to consider the spaces you spend time in. Your home, where you work, your neighborhood.
Yeah, think about them. Are they silently shaping your memories? Are they contributing to your sense of connection, your own feeling of longevity?
Are they just functional shells, or do they genuinely hold feeling? Do they foster your well-being? Something to reflect on.